So we're getting ready to do a big round of adoption stuff. I'm going to be working on our profile book, and Ashley's going to continue to fill out some more forms and stuff for the adoption consultants. Why don't you tell them about what an adoption consultant is?
Hi. Oh, people are messaging me. So an adoption consultant, well, let me preface. A traditional way of doing adoption is you would find one local agency wherever you live at. They normally would do your home study, and you would work with them for their networking of birth mothers, birth families that are wanting to adopt. And that process with a local agency could go from a year up to even 5 years to be placed. A more modern way of adoption is using a consultant. People still use it the more traditional way, but I would say maybe within the past 15 years, a newer way of adopting is using a consultant. And the best way I can describe that is that it's a liaison. They're like a liaison between you and a network of a whole bunch of agencies. So we will be filling out several applications to the network of agencies that our consultant works with. Our consultants are a faith-based organization. They hold our hands through the entire process. They look over our profile book. They give us tips and tricks. They answer all of our questions. They're with us the entire process and afterwards, after we've been placed, after the baby's in our home. They really become like a family member for us, a support network, if you could say. The consultants have a network of several different agencies all over the U.S. They focus on domestic infant adoption. Sometimes they work with attorneys as well. And so we could possibly be shown cases of children that are a little bit older. John and I are open to a newborn all the way up to 2 years old. So if an attorney has a situation that may be fitting for us, they'll present that case to us. That's what using a consultant's about. Using a consultant, you normally don't have to wait that 5 years. Our consultants have been in the business, I think, about 10 years, and they've never had an adoptive family go past a year without being placed. So by next summer, we should maybe even have a little baby or babies in the house. So that's that.
So what adoption consultants are we working with?
We are.
Paperwork anywhere?
Yeah. I don't know. I've got paperwork everywhere, babe. So we are working with Faithful Adoption. I'll cover this part. Texas is one of their states that they work with, but Faithful Adoption Consultants is who we are working with. I've been following them now for probably 2 years, just on their social media pages and seeing all the families and praying with them for the families that are adopting.
I'm going to be working on our profile book, and a profile book is basically like a little book or magazine about your life. You basically stuff it full of things that makes up who you are as a family. Lots of pictures, lots of photos of you and your spouse, you and your home, and you and your family, and the things you like to do.
This is going to be like their introduction of who we are as a family.
I want to be making that, otherwise we'd have to hire someone. And what were the typical costs you saw that
I was just looking on one of the profile book companies that I follow, and their starting price was $950 for a profile book.
That dog just went into the pantry, like opened the door. This is Bosco. He's a very important part of our family. Excuse me, sir. What are you doing?
Bosco, you already ate dinner.
What are you doing?
Pantry's closed for the night. Sorry, bud.
First couple pages of the book's coming along. A little slow moving. Just kind of starting raw from the top here. So here's a little look at the book. It's not the book. It is our stairs. So doing this book, the adoption consultants really recommend a way on how to put this together. And so this is kind of where we start. And then they want to have a quote by us, or like a scripture or something like that. And then a little introduction to who we are. And then a couple photos of us. And then we start introducing ourselves personally. So it's nice they've given us something to work off of, so that we're not completely out in the blue of how to do things. Profile book is coming along.
I'm still working on the applications. So we don't actually send in these applications to these agencies. We send it to our consultants, and then our consultants handle it from there. Hopefully we'll be done in like the next couple weeks with all this.
That would be nice.
Except we've got to get our Texas background done. Blah. Which is like $75 per person.
Do we have to send in fingerprints again?
Yeah.
So we're working on adoption stuff, and I don't know if we've talked about this yet in the vlog, for the vlog. We're in the middle of also being a part of a show called Chosen, and it's being put on by a new upcoming network called Brio TV. And so I'm actually producing it. And this show, Chosen, is about families going through adoption, families that have gone through adoption. Ideally, it would be about a family that's going through a domestic adoption, a family that's going through an international adoption, and then a family who has already adopted. So in the midst of doing all of this overwhelming adoption stuff in the first place, we're also making a TV show out of it. And we're going to be using some of our vlog footage as well as some big boy camera stuff, and we might even have like a camera crew with us at times too, so that'll get interesting. Things are moving and shaking. It's pretty cool.
Moving and shaking, guys.
Moving and
Things
shaking,
are
guys.
moving and shaking.
Moving and shaking.
You know that moving and shaking type of thing. That's what you call it.
She got to hang out with all the big wigs at Brio TV yesterday.
You guys want to know something fun? So that was my first official, like, go with John to a business meeting. It was interesting. Tip for you guys out there: if you ever go to a fancy business thing and you're talking with people, only get the one-biter options. That's what I learned. Only select one-bite options, or else you'll look like a fool. And I definitely tried to just shove it all in my mouth so that I could be done with it. After Isabella passed away, one of the things that like totally left me was how to do, like I totally forgot how to do small talk with people. And trying to do small talk was totally awkward, and it still is at times for me, even with people I know. So I get awkward.
Yeah.
So I am, it's like 11:33 and I have totally gone off the bandwagon of getting adoption stuff done. Got a lot done tonight, by the way, which is huge. I've just been playing on Pinterest and just replying to some messages on Instagram. I am like blown away by the community that is Instagram. Like, you know, I've participated in Instagram, but not really found like a real community of people that invest and that comment and speak life into a season of my life. I found it a little bit in after the loss of Isabella, but still, you know, it's just hard to talk in that season, so I get it. But this adoption community is amazing, like speaking so much encouragement in life, and just support in some of the girls that I'm following and have been talking with just in personal messages. It's really cool. I'm just so thankful. I'm talking with Kitty Bonema. I don't know how you say her last name, but Katie. And I don't know, it's just really cool to have this group of women on Instagram that are in all the different walks of adopting, and just to see how tight-knit they really are and how supportive they are is a really big blessing to be a part of. I'm thankful for it. To share that, capture these moments because it's part of the journey as well. So I don't even know how I've come to know some of these women, probably through hashtags, or Jordan probably came over from your page. I just love it because, I mean, here locally I've got friends that are supporting us and, you know, that are rooting us on, but they haven't walked through the adoption process. We're really some of the first people within our church and our friend group that are adopting, and so it's a lot of unknowns, a lot of questions, uncertainty of if we're doing this right, if the time frame is going right, just expectations that I'm putting on myself that I don't know if are right or not, struggles with fundraising, if we're doing this right, if we're asking too much or too little. It's just a lot of things I'm wrestling in my head, and so to flesh that out and to talk with some of these women is just really lifting my heart up and giving me some direction and answers, so it makes me feel good. This is the aftermath of said laptop group. I'm playing on Pinterest, and John but yeah, that's a little bit of an update on what's been happening with us. Yeah, we're done with our home study. Thankfully, we're just waiting on our counselors that we've seen in the past 3 years, to sign off on some things and get that back to our home study provider so it can be done and we can be approved. Wrap up our profile book and get our Texas background done and order some of the original copies that they need. It's just another long list of stuff that we've got to get done, but we're trucking through it, so that feels good. Anyways, from the Carolina Casa to you guys, thanks for coming along this journey with us and supporting us in this. It feels like this is our life, like adoption is our life right now, and it's beautiful and it's full. It's also hard, but it's a little snippet of what's been happening. Good night.